Okay, first thing we are going to see about the variables. Inside of the Python, variables, keywords, and strings, things we are going to be learn. Basics of Python only now we are going to see. This variable means it is the it's a memory location where we can store a value. We are storing some value. For that, we are assigning one name that is called variable. Here, identifier is used to refer to this variable is the memory location. Um, we are staying in home. For example, I'm telling we are staying in home. We have names. Individual person, everyone is having names, and also in our house also having address. That is called identifier. How can we identify that variable? So, the value is called stored in variable. Our house address is called identifier. Identifier is a label that names a variable. Here NUM, number equal to 100. NUM is the variable and 100 is the value that is stored inside of that variable that now have identifier. That value is different. That is called address. I told no, our house address that is different. We will see that what is the value for num. An integer variable whose value is 100 is created with the name identifier. Then how can we create the variable? We have some rules to follow. These are all the rules. Python is case sensitive language. Either you can use NUM, capital NUM or small NUM, or considered as two different identifiers. Here variable name can start with uppercase or lowercase alphabet, but it should not start with the digit. Digit you can use inside of that variable, but should not start digit like this. One data, we can't accept this one. And also special characters inside of that variable should not add. Except underscore. Underscore only we can use to create. It's like other languages. What are the for C and Java? The rules is common for all languages. So we have to follow that rules. This is the exact correct variables. Either you can create capitals or small or capital small, both cases. And beginning start from underscore or middle or numbers you can add here after giving some characters. This is the correct valid identifiers. This is invalid identifiers. Then next we are seeing the keywords. Keywords are some common keywords stored in Python library. This is the sample keywords. If, else, elif, for, rise. From these are the sample keywords. The keywords are case sensitive. Here also the keywords are case sensitive, but we should not use the keyword as a variable. Here given the example is and is the keyword, but we should not use the variable. I will show you the example. Or if you can see the screen, professors, kindly reply me. Colab screen, all of you can see now. Okay. Here I have typed here. For all examples, I have typed and will show you the results. If you have time, parallelly, you can work it in Colab. If you can able to follow, or else I will share you the PPT. Later, you can also practice this one. Here I have used and what are all the codings given. I have used AND 10. It shows the error. If I'm changing A, just A value is 10. A is the variable. I'm assigning the value for A is 10 and I'm going to print value. Print that value. Value is 10. So if I'm giving, if is the keyword. If I'm storing value if equal to 10, it will show the error. So we should not use the keyword as a variable. Keyword is already stored in built-in library. Then next we will move to data types. Data types for other, consider we will, other languages have C have int, float, character, string, and it's like a Java and also. But here we have built-in data types, two types. One is mutable and another one is immutable. Mutable means we will see in next slide briefly. Mutable means we can change the source file. We can change the value inside of the source file, but immutable means we can't change. List, set, dictionary, these are all the mutable. And number, string, tuple, boolean, these are all the immutable data types. Mutable means values can be modified in the original location. Immutable means we can't change in the original location. And we can also find the type of function. We have created a variable and stored some value inside of that variable. Which type, which data type, if that variable comes under which data type, we can get the answer. That is called a type of function, can be used to get the data type. Here this is the some examples. Number 1 is the integer, number 2 is the float, and the result is the result equal to false means this is comes under string. Print of type of num1 means it will shows the class, which class comes under this data type. Num1 is integer, num2 is float, result is boolean, because true and false. We will also discuss briefly all these data types coming forthcoming slides. I will explain. And first we are going to see the number data types, int, float, and complex. Three types of number data types are there. Integer means it is the whole number, either positive or negative integer numbers called whole number, comes under integer, int. Then positive or negative fraction, decimal values are called float. This comes under float. Complex means combinations of either I or j. It's like a type of 2 plus 3j. This type represents the complex numbers. These are all the number data types. We will see example for this one. Execute the program and observe the output. I told you, ID means we are staying in our house. We have our house address. No, that is called ID. Number one value is 10. Print ID of Professor. Parallelly, you can work in Colab. Print of ID of number 1, number 1. It means it prints the value of 10. Then that number 1, where that which address that will be stored. Our house address having no value is 10, such that number 1 is also having some value. I will show you the output. See, this is the immutable concept. That is ID. Sorry. Okay, I will show you. ID of number 1, number 1. I'm going to print this value. Number 1 plus 20 means value is adding. So this is the immutable. We can't add these values. Print ID of number 1, where that number 1 is stored. This address value is 134831, something that will randomly assigned inside of that Python function. Then this 10 plus 20 is added 30. This number one is stored in another ID. Okay. Then next concept is Boolean. Boolean means it represents true or false. Either true or this output will be false. We are assigning number 1 is 15 and number 2 is 2. We are getting number 1 is greater than 2. Yes or no? 15 is greater than 2. Professors?
Hello team, I request Elsa ma'am, can you please put your mic on mute? Hello, Elsa ma'am. Ma'am, sorry for the inconvenience caused. I'll log in with our official ID and I'll let her mute ma'am. Sorry.
Okay. Okay, number 1 value is 15, number 2 is 2. So it is greater. So this value is, this output is true. Then number 2, Elsa ma'am? Okay.
Ma'am, now it is muted ma'am. I have muted her. You can continue ma'am. Sorry.
Okay, okay ma'am, thank you ma'am. Okay, number 2 value is 0, no. So this is the Boolean output. It is false. Then true plus true is, this value is true. Because here it will assign the true value is 1, false value is 0. So true into 0. 1 into 0 is 0. The output will be 0. Then next slide is a string. What is the string? String is the character or combinations of characters. That is represents one or more sequence of characters. It is enclosed in either single or double quotes or more lines. We will cover the multiple quotes, Wipro and single quotes. All the quotes are taking same. We are asking the which type. It comes under S1, S2, S3 comes under which type. It's all or a string. This shows the output. And tuple. Tuple means it is the immutable. It maintains the insertion order and supports index-based access. Or different types of elements it contains. String is only character. Then int float means only numerical, but tuple having combinations of all characters, but it is immutable. We will use the open and close parenthesis like this. If we will use this one, this is called a tuple. There is only one element, it must be terminated with a comma. Each element should have terminated with comma. Either we can give integer, float, or character, or string. What are all data types we can give inside of that parenthesis? It's called tuple. T1 is called. This is tuple variable name. We have stored these values. Output for this value, I will show you. This is the output. It shows like this. We have stored all values here. T2 stored here at 100, 200, 300. And some of the slides don't have the output. So that's why I have taken the same example from the slide. Print T1, T2, T3. I'm asking to print like this. If I'm giving print like this, I'm executing this arrow mark. No, I will execute like this. If I'm splitting the print means it will shows in this type of order. Or if I'm giving the same line, it all shows in single line. Then next, list. It is type of one of the data type, and it is mutable. Elements can be added or removed from on the list. It contains the different types of, it's like what tuple having that same concept having the list, but here we will mention the square brackets. There open and close parenthesis, but it is immutable. List is mutable. Should we mention the open and close square bracket? This is list. The next one is the set. I will show you the output for this list. See, this is the output of list. Here also we can, if we want to print this in a different line or new line, we will give like this. See, I'm getting list 3, content is a new line. And next is set, another data type. This is unordered collection of unique elements. Here main aim of set is to didn't replicate the duplicates. It will not replicate. If we are giving integer, it is also combining all combinations of data types, that is int, float, and string, all combinations, but we have to mention the curly braces. This is mutable. Set is the mutable. Main aim of set is it will doesn't take the duplicates. This is the key point. This is the output. Output for the set is we have 2 times 500 mentioned here in set 1, but I'm getting output is only 1,500. That is the unique value. And also one concept of set is this will not show in order. Any type of order it will represent, and randomly it will take the order. But we don't know what concept it have followed. 800, admin, user, 500. I have given the